Welcome to the NBA Coast to Coast podcast, brought to you by thelines.com. Coming to you from the West Coast, Josh Lander, joined by my guy Nate Weitzer on the East Coast. And we are reeling a little bit on our player props, only because I started keeping track for you guys about a week and a half ago. We swear it if you've been following along, as I know you have. Before that, we were hitting at about a 60% clip. It's only because I started to track these things that we've been on a little bit of a less than heater the last week and a half. Looking to right things on a very giant slate tonight. Got 10 games to choose from, so we're feeling pretty good about tonight as well. Definitely make sure to like and subscribe to that page. Got a couple game videos up for you, as we always do each and every weekday this season. Also want you to head to thelines.com. That's where we have our great written content for you guys. Check out all the picks up there and use our odds finder tool. Make sure you are getting the best juice back on all these bets. You can shop these NBA player props and game lines across U.S. sports books pretty easily with this wonderful odds finder tool. Nate, let's go ahead and jump into your first NBA player prop for tonight.
Yeah, just FYI, we will be off on for Friday's slate. TBD on the 2-game slate tomorrow, but we're going to have a full episode about the Christmas games this Sunday in exchange. So stay tuned for that. We'll have both games and prop videos up for Christmas. Looking at Wednesday here, though, LeBron James, the only one with props up in this Lakers-Kings game, and that's all we need, really. Russ Westbrook is a game-time decision, so that's maybe why no other Lakers are getting any props, but we know AD's out for a long time, and LeBron's going to step up without AD. You've seen it since the start of last season. His usage rate's up at 33% without AD, scoring about 32 points per game, 31 points per game. On the road this year, his usage rate goes up from 30 to 33%. In his last 3 against Sacramento, he's scoring 32 points per game on a 35% usage rate. Sacramento might be without Harrison Barnes or Domantas Sabonis tonight. I mean, Sabonis not really a great defender, but it does make them a little thinner, and Barnes is probably the matchup they'd start on LeBron. They have the fourth worst defensive efficiency at home. They allow the most assists per game to small forwards in the last 2 weeks. And they allow the 4th most paint points overall, and LeBron's just attacking the paint. It's opened up with no AD there, so he can more easily just go in there and not try to mess around with threes. The points are at 30.5. The assists are at 7.5. I would prefer combining them because I think he's going to be diming up a lot more. Yeah, you're definitely getting value if Russ Westbrook is out, because then LeBron's assist rate is going to be up at 40-50%. For sure, he's not going to be sharing the floor with Russ. He's going to be controlling the action like he is wont to do. And it's just a great matchup. It's a game with a 240-point total. And LeBron is going to do everything he can to carry the Lakers in their fast-paced attack, and he should be putting up stats all over.
Yeah, I mean, it's a weird time in Lakerland for sure. Putting up stats all over. I mean, I definitely like the points for sure as well, just because, like you keep talking about here, everything he does when Russ or when AD is out, especially, and how he gets to that 32, 33 number pretty consistently without him, and at least 30 really since AD came to the squad and has been injured consistently. So has LeBron. So there's not as many numbers as you might think where he's playing without AD, to be honest. But now is definitely another time to take advantage of that sample size of him playing without AD and putting up those big numbers. I think it's another opportunity tonight for sure. In a game that will have a ton of points, by the way. What's it, 239.5 right now? So there's going to be points as the Lakers are playing at that blistering fast pace at home, especially. Let's go to a guy we've been hitting on pretty consistently, I would say, this season. Donnie Mitchell having one of his better seasons and sort of a resurgence, really. 26.5 points tonight. Be very clear, the odds finder tool coming through for us. Minus 110 on MGM for him to get the 27 points, Nate. Minus 120 everywhere else that you might find him on sportsbooks with a prop at that number 26.5. So definitely getting way better juice on MGM. Thank you, odds finder tool. His last 6 versus Milwaukee, which is a big game, and we know Donnie shows up on offense in big games, especially this season. Last 6 versus Milwaukee, about 28 points per game and 5 assists or so. Shooting 41% from the field, 34 from deep, always good, 89% from the line. And then, getting about more than 6 free throw attempts a game, which is crucial for him. You love that if he's going to get those points. And his 2 road 30s with Cleveland against them, 26 points a game. That 35% usage rate is what you love to see, with 4 threes made on a 40% clip as well. But here at home in his last 5, 34% usage as well. So really similar numbers in the usage that he's been getting on the road, but bringing that home now. Close, he came close at home versus Dallas in one of those last 5, 25 points in 42 minutes. Dallas, obviously a really good defensive team. So is Milwaukee, but Dallas might be a little bit better in terms of guarding the wing there. We'll see what Drew's able to do against him. But a couple of these teams that, these games that he's had recently give you that good feeling of that 34% usage rate with him. If he's going to be getting, 20, 22 shots in this game with the roughly 6 free throw attempts that you expect him to make almost all of them, if not all of them, then the 26.5 points feels really good in a game that should have a decent amount of points with Cleveland playing so well on offense at home.
Yeah, I mean, the reason you'd be scared of this is Drew Holiday, but he hasn't really shut down Donnie. 116 defensive rating the last time he faced him. They faced off in the middle of the 2021 season, and Donnie went for 32 points in 32 minutes. He's just like scoring a point per minute with the Cavs. I mean, the Bucks team defense is so good that it's kind of a situation where the Cavs do that. Okay, Mitchell, bail us out. And he's done that routinely since he got there this year, including some decent numbers on the road against this Bucks team. But now they're home, the Cavs, where the Bucks are much more vulnerable when they're on the road. So Mo Wagner should get at least one more night of decent run here. Wendell Carter Jr. is due back on Friday, but until then, it's the Mo Bros, Mo Bamba, and Wagner. And in his last 4, I mean, Mo's been a key member of Orlando's success here. 17 points per game, 7.5 rebounds on 60% field goal shooting with a 143 offensive rating. 3 of those came on the road, and 2 against the Boston Celtics. So now he faces Houston, which is not a good defensive team at all, and actually allows the most points per game to power forwards on the season, allowing the 4th most rebounds in their last 2 weeks of play. So 14.5 points is close to even money, or 21.5 points in rebounds, since he is boarding up. And Houston tends to throw up a lot of field goal attempts and doesn't necessarily make a ton. So I mean, not too much to say other than these props are low, and Wagner is going to be getting his full slate of run in a system that's working for the bigs here in Orlando. If there's more defensive attention on Paolo and his brother Franz, Mo Wagner is more than happy to make defenses pay.
I love Mo Wagner. I haven't had a chance to talk about my fantasy team in a while. Have definitely picked him up. Probably time to drop him, as you mentioned. Once WCJ, Wendell Carter Jr. comes back, don't sleep on that man. Also having a really great season when he's actually on the floor this year. But yeah, Moritz has come through in a big way, and if he's going to be getting the 29 to 30 minutes that he's been getting in the month of December without Wendell Carter Jr. on the floor, I mean, there was a moment in time where it could have been him or it could have been Mo Bamba getting that starting role and getting those 30 minutes, and it went to Moritz after he's been hitting the 3-pointers that he's been hitting, roughly 1.5 made a game on like 3.5 attempts. So being super efficient, had a monster dunk the other day as well. I swear to God, after he drove from the 3-point line on that Atlanta team, which was wonderful. We know they don't play any defense. So I really wanted to go Orlando. It's like finally they have a tiny little spread where they're favored against one of the 2-3 worst teams in the league, but they're just not good as a favorite, and it scares me. So I stayed away from them tonight. We'll see how for real they are in a game where they're on the road as a favorite. I think this is a huge test for them, and Moritz is going to be getting those 30 minutes, and I think there's going to be some points to be had for sure on the road with Orlando. So nice pick there with Moritz. A guy I don't want to go under with because I do love Gordo Hayward, but I got to. Mr. Hayward there on the Hornets. Coming back, nice little win for them against the Kangs a couple nights ago. Kangs didn't really bring it, I'll be honest, but LaMelo has resurged this team in a way that I was scared to go under for him. It's a tough matchup for sure for Charlotte tonight, as they are, what's their under? They're at 8-point underdogs right now against the Clips, but it's just a tough matchup for them, and the Clippers team that's been playing great defense all season and definitely as of late as well. This is the 3rd game in 4 nights for Gordo, so I'm going under his 15.5 points. I would also go under on his 24.5 PRA. The points are a little bit obviously ballsier there. Minus 102 for under 16 tonight for him. Minus 113 on FanDuel for him to get under 25 points, rebounds, and assists combined. So, I mean, in the 3 since he's returned from injury, where he's been consistently the last 2 years, 14 a game, 6 boards, 3 assists. That still gets you just under the PRA and definitely under the points there. In his last 2 versus the Clippers, yeah, he's had a few better, some decent games, 16 points, 7.5 boards, and 2 assists in those games. But, you look at his field goal percentage at about 38.5%. And neither of those games were really close either. Some pretty big blowouts where it's just kind of like, all right, they weren't really anything to take seriously. But like I was saying, that Clippers lights out defense, especially with PG and Kawhi when they're in their 95.5 defensive rating over the last 3 with those 2 guys playing. They've had a nice little break, and they're also, and just in terms of limiting, this is really why I prefer going under on Gordon Hayward, besides the fact that LaMelo's back with a vengeance right now. I don't want to go under on him. Do want to go under on a guy where, against small forwards, LAC, the Clippers are limiting their opposing small forwards 3rd in terms of their 3-point percentage, their the free throw attempts a game, limiting their assists. So yeah, they're limiting everything everywhere all over the floor right now, especially against those small forwards. And it's just a game that's probably not going to have enough points for Gordon to be able to get to those 16.
Yeah, I mean, he's only gotten to 20 points once in his last 6 meetings with the Clippers, and it took 48 minutes to get there, and he shot like 29% from the floor. I just don't see him having a huge usage rate here when it's the 3rd game in 4 nights. I don't understand why they played him 39 minutes on the second half of a back-to-back. It's like, are you trying to get him injured again so that you can shut him down for the season? Because, like, nobody's going to bother you if you just shut him down anyway. We know you're tanking, Charlotte. So, I mean, yeah, they don't have much of a chance here tonight. I'd be interested in teasing the Clippers down to 4 or 5 with another game if you like it, because I think with the good rest here, I mean, they've just been lights out. They basically threw a game on a back-to-back, but otherwise they're back to playing excellent defense, and they should have both their guys out here tonight.
Yeah, and if both of their guys are out there, yeah, it's going to be clamps time for Gordon Hayward with such limited options for Charlotte as well. So that is all the time we have for you in this one. Make sure to like and subscribe to that page. Taking a small little break here as we have a really small slate tomorrow night, and not much going on Friday for us, but we do have everything going for you guys for the Xmas Day games this Sunday. So until we see you next, happy betting.